I'm getting into those rules now, you know. I don't eat breakfast. I'm not a breakfast eater, so that's spot on for me.
Yeah.
I don't get hungry before 11.
Do you have that then, about 10, 11?
Yeah, about 11. When I start... Hunger starts kicking in. Like, 1:30. But...
I've got to eat breakfast like that.
But you're up and walking at like 6. Otherwise, I get up at like 6:30, but I'm not out till 7:30. You've been out for 2 hours by then.
No, I walk to the gym.
Yeah.
Walk to the gym at 5:45.
Do you know what? I can do that in the summer when it's light. I hate it when it's dark.
You know what annoys me, right?
What?
Right, in the summer, when I'm walking to the gym at 5:45 in the morning,
Yeah.
I see hundreds of people.
Yeah.
In the winter...
It's dark.
A bit dark,
But it's not nice though, is it?
Why?
Why? It's dark and cold. Like, when it's light and it's reasonably sunny, you want to be...
Get out. Get out. Get up. Get out. Get on with it. Honestly,
I get up, but it's just like...
It's easy to
But I like going on runs and stuff, and I can't do that when it's pitch black, and I'm not one of them who's going to put a head torch on.
If you're in the gym at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, or in the gym at 6, 7 o'clock at night, I tell you what, it tells me about people as a character.
I won't go to the gym at the night, though. I go to the gym in the morning at 6 in the morning, but I won't walk there.
No, but I tell you what, people who go to the gym 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, or 6, 7 o'clock at night, I think, tell you what, you've got something about you.
Yeah.
You've got something about you.
And if you don't go to the gym, I think...
There are exceptions, Ben. There are exceptions.
Yeah, but...
So... Ben, you used to be a director. Now you're like a sort of like a...
everything?
You're almost like, what do you call him?
All
Like?
round. He's technically a producer-director, but I often ask him what he
Barry
is.
just said fluffer.
Gary Neville's fluffer. Yeah. Didn't get that on my peer review.
No, but you're almost like a commercial manager. Exec, yeah, you're like an exec, yeah.
Tell Scott that. Increase my contracts.
What are these for? For people to win.
People who've entered that competition themselves.
Right.
How big's that T-shirt?
It's oversized. I'm just very thin, you know what I mean?
Is that for you and Phil?
Hey.
Jesus, look at that.
Does it look a bit oversized on me? Do I need to change it, Kieran?
No, I don't. You always wear that represent oversized.
So he
stuff.
always wears gear too big for him.
That's a nice little wool number, that little...
Fitted.
Fitted. No, that's...
You love black, don't you?
I love wearing black clothes.
Black, navy blue and grey, innit?
Black, navy blue, grey, with a dash of white.
With the what?
A dash of white.
Okay.
You know, a bit of white just to sort of bring a bit of...
Life to it.
Wrighty's going to be boiling.
Are you on?
Wrighty's going to be boiling in this episode.
Why?
You're going to be hot. You're going to be very hot in that denim.
Bro.
Oh, thank you. Let me get
Bro,
these.
you're trying to... You're
gonna be
measuring
very
me
hot.
against your vibe.
You're going to be very hot.
I'm cool, bro.
There she is.
Hello!
Hey! See ya! What's happening, Coleen?
I feel like I'm taking Wayne's place now.
Yeah, nice.
When my mum and the kids came in, I said, how's Plymouth doing? And my mum went, okay.
I was fuming with the wives. Not necessarily individually.
No, as a
not actually the
group.
wives, actually. I was fuming with...
Reverse. One of the wives is here.
What you had going through that trial must have been absolutely terrifying for you.
It was the lowest I would ever say I've ever been in life. I think because I had no control over it. It stripped me.
Wayne sleeps with the hairdryer on.
It's gone on fire before.
Wow.
It's on cool, but this one time he said that he was cold and left it on hot.
Crazy.
He burnt his toe.
We finally got the real queen of the jungle. Did you win it, Jill?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you win it?
Just, I think.
Who did you beat in the final?
Owen, but he's my friend. I feel like you shouldn't really win it. Do you not feel like that? Because you're like a team, aren't you? So, I'm a team player. These would all take that crown, wouldn't you?
Did you think you'd get to the end?
No,
I
not at
didn't.
all. Not at all.
No.
But like we always ask people, I mean, was it the money you got you through it?
I don't think Colleen's worried in that respect.
I wanted a challenge for myself, but I'm fine, thanks for water.
Not for me.
You're on that
No,
side.
go
You're
on,
on the other
Coleen, that's
side now.
quite good. You want
Yeah,
to-
no, I wanted. I've been asked year after year, and I've always said no because the kids have been young, and then I had stuff going on in life. And it's the one show that I've always said if I was to do any show, I would do that because I've watched it for years, loved it. So then I thought, you know what, why not? And then I done it. I'm glad I did. A few days in, I thought, what am I doing
I was
here?
4 days in. I was like,
I
oh,
thought
gosh.
I could walk. I was sitting there and I had all these big characters singing and dancing around me, and I was thinking, what am I going to bring to this jungle? Like, I'm just me. And there was certain conversations going on. My dad told me not to swear when I went in there, but they were all talking about sex and everything. I was thinking, I can't do this. I need to go and walk away. And you know where you just think, this is not me. And then as it went on, it was, and I got to know them as all individuals. It was
How
better.
long are you in there before you're not aware you're in there, but you just start being yourself? How long does it take? You forget the cameras.
There's certain times throughout, like from the beginning, there were certain things that I'd done there, I thought, and then I'd stop and think and look at someone's name on the back of the top and think, oh, I am in here. Yeah, it's real.
It does just become your reality, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like, you just relax like this and have conversations, and suddenly you're talking about, like, ex-relationships or something, and then you get to a point and you're like, shit, this is on, like, ITV. You're like, let's stop talking. But you do relax, yeah.
Anyone who you just naturally, because like Nadine Coyle, she's like my sister now. We had such a bond. Did you get a bond with anyone like where you just really tight?
Alan. He was lovely, and I felt like he was on the same wave. We'd look at each other sometimes, and it's like if someone was doing something, as if to say,
He's a beauty.
yeah. And Barry was just like my dad. I felt like Barry, I was like, he'd go off with, say, like his toothbrush, but not his toothpaste. And I go, Barry, your toothpaste is there, you need that.
Oh.
They go, oh yeah, thanks very much. And I felt like that's what, because my mum's looked after my dad for years and always done stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like that was his wife must really look after him and do. So then I'd make his bed and he'd come back and go, who's made my bed? I go, oh, I have. I just pulled it over because it'll get wet. And he was like, oh, thanks very much for that.
He's so lovely,
But he's
isn't
so
he?
nice.
So lovely.
Yeah, and Grace she was funny, Grace.
Yeah.
GK, yeah, I'd never heard of her before. I didn't know who she was. And then when she came in, I felt like she was trying to be funny, but she didn't need to because she was just naturally funny. So as the week went on, she dropped that and she was just like one-liners were just hysterical.
Yeah.
But after a week or two, when you're all in there, does it then become apparent everyone wants to win? Because the first week or two, everyone's sitting there and they're getting letters, they're talking about it, and they're all crying. Everyone's crying every night. I miss me. And then let me finish, Jill. And then, but then the voting happens and people say you're staying in. They're like, oh, thank you. You're crying 10 minutes ago because you're missing your kids. But then, dude, everyone wants to win then? Is that...
No, I felt it was the opposite way round. I thought everyone went in wanting to win, and then it mellowed out and it wasn't as competitive because people were like, oh, do you know what, these are all right. And I thought they all went in putting on like this front, and then that fell off and you started seeing the real then. But I was lucky because we had a really nice group. The people were going in, they were like, you're going to wean yourself off caffeine and sugar and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't drink that much caffeine. But, oh my God, 4 days in, the headache was unbelievable. Yeah.
Because
Did
you have no
medication
salt,
for that?
sugar,
Did they give you
nothing.
stuff for that or not?
Well, I left it thinking, like, I'm not... And then I went into that Bush Telegraph thing. I was like, I've got a banging headache. They went, oh, you're like the last one who's come in today. So they'd all have paracetamol and that.
Really?
And I was thinking, no, I'm not going to go and ask. I'll just try and battle through it. And they were like, if you should have just came and asked us. So, yeah, they gave me 2 paracetamol.
Yeah, it's got caffeine. Did they give you the one where it's got caffeine in? Because I remember thinking, God, 'cause I obviously love coffee. I didn't actually get a headache, but I remember talking to Matt Hancock, and he would have like 8 shots of coffee before 12 o'clock, like in a day-to-day life. And I was like, how are you going to get through this experience? But yeah, they give you like a tablet with caffeine in it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I heard that people were getting protein drinks because they didn't have enough calories. I think James Haskell had to have some kind of protein drink, and Nadine had to have something.
It wasn't Huel, was it?
It will be now.
But then what happens is that people, then you hear afterwards, oh yeah, I was getting tablets when I weren't right. I wasn't getting nothing. So I wasn't getting nothing, so it's almost like...
You're like one of them managers who blames injuries.
No, I wasn't blaming injuries, but it's only when you finish, you're thinking, everybody, no one's getting tablets, no one's getting like protein drinks to keep them going because I was starving. I'd have eaten anything. And then when you do the trials and then this food comes, I remember one time they'd done a trial of food company. It was like pitch black chicken wings.
Oh, I had that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And I just started to well up. I just said, I'm going to go to the toilet. I just started to well up because the trial, what I had to do to get it, I was like, yes, we've done it. And then when it came and it comes down and you open it, you go... and it was like pitch black chicken wings, and I went up and I just went and cried.
We won like, I think it was 11 out of 12 stars one night, and we got some kind of tail or something, but we got loads of veg and stuff, but we started preparing it, and everyone was like, oh, we'll have a good meal, and then it started thundering and lightning. We had to go into that tough for 2 hours. The food got ruined, and we come out and they gave us a piece of tofu. We were like,
really?
yeah. We were
I thought you were going to see a Nando's or something.
No, that's the thing. It was just like we thought they might do us a favour and like, no.
What about the thing you did with the, that was brilliant, where you won all the stars, but you told them you never, but you kept it. Normally they come in and think, oh, we never won nothing. And give it a minute and go, we did. You kept it going all night, didn't you?
Well, Alan said, should we do it? And I was like, oh, I don't know whether I can keep that going. And then they said, it's never been done on the show before, where they've kept it to the end, where the food comes. And I see it when Danny read the thing and he said 10 stars and he was like, he said, I thought it was a mistake on the thing. But no, I think you need to do things like that in there just to keep you going. And have
you know, when
it,
you said it was the board, you said the board. You know when the people come out and you talk to Ant and Dec at the end, everyone says the board, but I almost think, do they want you to not want you to say that? Because it's like, it's their show, you're saying their things boring. Do you know what I mean? Is that like, are they bothered about that?
No, I think it's just like, it's testing you, isn't it? Because that's the thing, if you are bored, you could snap and you could get like things. So they might want them reactions from you, you know, if you are like an angry person or something, and you're, because I spoke to Tony Bellew before I went in there, and he said he struggled with the boredom. That was the one thing.
People don't realise, James, you wake up, because it's a long 24 hours. It gets light.
Is that how long a day is?
It's a long.
It's longer in there, I think.
It's longer in there, Jamie, because it gets light. It gets dark like really early, but then it gets light really. But so if you're not doing trials and you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
I was desperate to do a trial, like just to get out of camp. Yeah.
You do get like that because you sat, like, say, imagine us being sat here with no food, drinks or anything, 16 hours a day. That's what it's like, having to talk to you guys for 16 hours a day.
When you're hungry.
But
it's easy.
That's why I kept cleaning up to do something. I just kept like thinking, what's going to do now?
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Huel. It's a brand new year and we're all setting ourselves goals and actually trying to hit them. What you fuel your body with really matters, and that's where Huel comes in. It's perfect for when you're short on time but want something nutritious that keeps you going, and it keeps those New Year's resolutions on track. Huel's Black Edition Ready to Drink is the ultimate meal on the go, all in one bottle. It's high in protein, low in sugar, and packed with all the nutrients you need to perform at your best. My favourite's the vanilla one, but there's a whole range that you can try. There's no prep, no cooking, and you get 35 grams of protein and 26 essential vitamins and minerals. It's perfect for those chaotic mornings, busy days at the office, or when I need a lunch on the move. Start your year off strong with Huel, the ultimate meal on the go. And right now, you can be a new customer that can buy the Taster Bundle, which is at £90 worth of Huel for just £69 at huel.com/the overlap. That's huel.com/the overlap.
I seen that you got back and you were like, on the school run, I was thinking, God, a friend could have done you a favour. You were like, straight on the school run. But was it important for you just to get back to...
Yeah, I think, like, the kids, it was a long time that I've been away. It's the longest time I've ever been away from them. But, like, the morning I flew out, I went on the school run, but everyone started arriving in Australia, so people had seen it in the papers and stuff. So on that morning I went and I could see all the parents looking as if saying, isn't she meant to be going to that jungle? I literally dropped them, went straight to the airport and then went. But no, when I came back, it was so, like, teachers coming up that have never even looked at me before. Like, go on, how much weight have you lost? Go on, how is it? But no, it was good. And the kids, obviously the two younger ones were over there, so they went back into school and they were like superstars, all the kids were, because families do watch it. It's like, there's loads of things where what you do and no one bat an eyelid, but it was like they all were excited.
You absolutely smashed it.
You
didn't
did, man. It's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
People don't realise.
Still
You're still traumatised.
Like, no. It's not easy, honestly, especially, you know, with your kids and you haven't been away from them. It's a magnificent effort.
Yeah. Did you see, because obviously Wayne's managing, so did you see him as soon as you got back, or was he away?
Yeah, no, he was off. It was Wednesday,
Oh,
so he was
okay.
off, so he was there. But when my mum and the kids came in, I said, how's Plymouth doing? And my mum went, okay. Kids went, no, they're not.
no.
They got beef on it. And my mum's going, shut up. I was like, oh, gutted.
Yeah, they didn't show that on TV. They didn't show that.
She said, when I come out, she was like, that was the one thing I was thinking, don't ask me.
And it was the first thing you asked as well.
Is there a come down when you come out? It's like a, because you've been on this high for like 2 or 3 weeks. Is there like a...
You're not on a high.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, Coleen.
No, but you know what I mean? You're on like a... You're in a bubble for 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then you come back to normality. Is there like a bit of a feeling of it feels different, or...
No, you do. It is a bit surreal, like being around, because you for me, everything just went back to normal. Like the kids were carrying on terrible, and you got on a 14-hour flight to Dubai, and then Dubai to... So I was back in, and my mum was like, there you go, there's your 2 kids. You deal with them now. But... No,
Is it how other people were with you when you come out? Because when you think about, you're in everybody's living room. Everybody's sat down at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. You're on TV every night. How people were with you?
The impact has been massive. Like, I didn't realise. Obviously, I knew it was a big show, but I didn't think they'd take that much interest in me as a person. I've done stuff in the past, but the amount of people that have not got me and my personality, like, and they've just took bits and bobs, but not seen me as a person. And that's what I've always said, being in the public eye, people forget that we are actually people and we have a heart.
You've got to tell them what age you really started in the public eye, though, Coleen. What would you have been? They were following you to school?
Yeah, 16.
God.
So it's been a long time, but...
Have you still got that coat?
No. But yeah, no, it's been, it's so nice and positive over, and like, oh, you're just normal. But then I think, well, what would it be? What would it be?
I think they made a big thing going, Coleen goes to B&M.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like the biggest thing ever. And I think it was just good for everybody to see your personality, because I think when you come out, everybody's like, they feel like they know you, don't they? Like, they'll probably come and give you a hug and you're like, who's this and stuff.
Yeah, no, it is nice. And but like, when my mum came in, I just said to her, am I dead boring? I felt like I was just dead boring compared to everyone else.
No, not at all.
And she was like, no, it's fine. And I was thinking, you tell me a lie again. But yeah, no, it's an experience that I will never do again. But I'm glad I have done it. Yeah. That last week was good because you're busy and you're out doing stuff, aren't you, all the time?
Yeah.
And like, I've met people that I keep in contact with. The group chat is going off all the time.
That happens for the first few months, and everyone goes missing. You're like,
you're not saying much that's going to encourage him in, but he's been offered it a couple of times. Is there anything you can say to him to encourage him to go in? Would you?
No, I don't think I'd encourage Wayne to go in either.
Would you not?
No, I don't think he'd. I think you've got to. I'm quite strong, but like, if I've got something to do, I've just got to get out, like, and do it. And I'm not fazed by much. Whereas I can imagine you to definitely say, I'm getting like not doing that. I'm off. See you later. And I think if you're not gonna stick, there's no point in going in and trying to do it if you know that you're not going to do it.
I think the jungle bit, I'd probably enjoy.
Yeah, see, that's...
It's all the other fringe bits. And
when you go out for a trial and stuff. No, well, I thought I would never exaggerate over the digestive biscuit. And when that come in, I was like, amazing. And when you watch it previous on like a boiled sweet, and then you're like made up over a boiled sweet, and you're thinking, oh, I am actually doing that.
He's done that in here with a custard cream.
But even when you were chatting earlier about it, people that get into a situation, they go, oh, we're going to be friends forever. I'd be like, no, but just, it's good to be friends for that few weeks. We're going, hopefully I'll never see you again, but that's fine.
He's like Tony Bell,
people get in situations, you go, we're going to keep in touch. No, we don't have to keep in touch.
I'm still in touch with Nadine Coyle.
And that's lovely, but
for life,
not with all the others, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe one, not loads.
No. Estimates forever gone.
Coleen, take us back to the first time I would have met you would have been Baden-Baden, obviously, when it was mayhem, obviously, wasn't it? And how old would you have been then, 17 or 18?
2006.
2006. 19?
What's that?
Come on, wag it to Christy.
That 18 years ago, I can't even think myself.
I'm 38 now.
Right,
So
20.
20.
So you get
You're
pulled in.
38.
Yeah.
You look great.
Yeah, so you get bad. I remember at the time, obviously, it was a strange experience for everybody. It was obviously all the wives were there. You were obviously there as the youngest out of everybody. Was that must have been massively daunting at the time as an experience?
Yeah, well, I'd experienced like attention before that as well, you know, but that was another level, but for the whole camp. But I think because I was young and just I think it got exaggerated. I think people got annoyed more than others with the situation.
Name names.
Yeah, and
I was fucking fuming.
I know you was,
Who
but
with?
I was fucking fuming with the wives.
But where was this, Nev, did you say?
It was in Baden. Not necessarily individually.
No, as
not actually the wives, actually. I was fuming with...
Backtrack, reverse. One of the wives is here.
So basically, we're in Baden-Baden in this,
Where's that?
in this camp.
It's a place in Germany.
So
All right.
2006, we go to Germany to a World Cup. It's the biggest competition of your life. We've got a pretty good team. And to be honest with you, I can only describe it as an absolute circus was going on. And to be honest, it wasn't with the wives, it was just the whole organisation of the trip in terms of the families and wives were all at this other hotel, weren't they?
yeah, but there was loads of press in the hotel as well. All
was,
the
yeah.
sports writers and
Yeah, there
everything
was.
were in the hotel. And the place was tiny. You had literally a handful of places to go, to eat, to drink. It
was a village,
So
yeah.
it was tiny. So we couldn't stay in the hotel. We had to go out and get food, or we were there, we had to enjoy ourselves. But because the press were on top of us, they exaggerated as well. They made out that we were having these parties every night and it wasn't. And these sport writers were 10 times worse than what we were doing. They were out all the time. They were in the same place, but then other places after that. So I do think it was unfair the way we got called for it, because we got the blame for just doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
But there was not many
Doing this
places.
and doing that, what's doing this and that?
Just
for
having
going
a
out for a
good
bite
time.
to
Going
eat.
out
Right.
to have a...
And
How
then
did you know I was fuming, by the way? How would that be known to you? Because
Wayne
You
told
let it
me.
be known.
Wayne told him.
How else was she
I'm just trying to think how you know.
How would you know?
That's got inside information.
Husband's in the team now.
But what were you mad at? Did you want them to
There was-
not be
Because he had his
seen out?
Man United, where winners' heads on. They shouldn't be here. We should be focusing.
they're
No,
not
it wasn't a
playing.
case of, to be fair, it was my wife was there, so it wasn't a case of I was sort of looking at everybody and thinking there was any individual doing anything wrong. It was just the whole circus of the sports writers, journalists, all the wives and families being in the hotel, and there were stories breaking every day that were nothings really.
Yeah.
There was like, oh, they've eaten here today, or they've gone to shop there today. And it was just a constant distraction. So the players, when they went to the press conferences, were being asked about it all the time. And I just thought this was a nonsense in the midst of a World Cup. I mean,
A nonsense by the journalists or by the family?
FA?
no, by the actual organisation to
The
have,
FA.
to have it in such a bubble, in such a
That
small
was the
place.
first year where I'd actually organised a trip for the wives,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Other than like the year before was Portugal, was it? Where you just had to literally.
You could only
do
come in.
stuff
You could only come in maybe for a day before,
Yeah.
or maybe like 2 days, and then you'd have to leave. Type thing. It was like This was the first time the wives and families stayed the whole trip.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea, though, is it?
I don't think-
Be there for the whole time.
Right,
Not
fuming.
with the.
No, I know that, but
players,
just
yeah.
to be over there for the whole tour, you could fly in and fly out. For it's only
But your
Germany.
families usually do go for if you're in a tournament. I know
But
not in
Jill,
the same
Jill,
way.
so hear
Not for the whole thing.
Yeah, hear him out, hear him out.
Hear this out for a second, right? We're playing, say, for instance, in Cologne. We're playing in Munich. So they could fly to Cologne, then stay there for a couple of days, then fly to Munich. So no problem with the families coming to the games. My mum and dad watched every match, so did Emma. But it was the fact they were in our village.
Yeah.
So it was like, and there was nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You couldn't escape. So it wasn't necessarily it wasn't the wife's fault.
Yeah.
I was fuming with the organisation by the FA. Yeah.
Your dad enjoyed himself on that.
Yeah, I was there that
I
night.
was fuming.
He's going mad at all the wives, the FA, this is a joke, they're all together. And next day, his dad's on the table rotten with the World Cup player.
Fucking drink all over his shirt. Honestly, it's the only time I've ever snapped and fallen out with Dad. I mean, Dad is a fucking disgrace. I said, seriously.
Because he's enjoying himself.
No, but I know, but what I'm saying to you is, he's like, It's like, it was a circus, Roy, honestly, where you'd hated it. I mean, seriously. It was a circus. And my dad was literally there with a toy World Cup.
Well, I'd hope it was a toy one.
It wasn't the real.
You said the real one. He's done well. Some night out.
But coming back to you, I always think for a young woman like you, that must have been massively daunting because obviously there's some big characters there, weren't there?
Yeah, and also like being so close to it. I remember walking back one day and some man was like next to me with an English shirt with Rooney on the back, and I was thinking, why is he like walking so close to me? And next minute, he pulled his pants down and done a Mooney, but it was set up. He was a photographer and got one of the other photographers to take thing, and then the headline was Rooney, Mooney, something.
It's quite clever, actually.
So obviously it's all set up.
Way Mooney.
But it was pathetic, but that was because we were all just on top of each other, and it was non-stop. But the families all got on. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We had a good time.
Oh, the Carraghers were
Oh,
there,
the
weren't
Carraghers
they?
had a good
Yeah.
time.
Have you all kept in touch? All the friends for life.
Just take us forward from that in terms of obviously, you know, Wayne was one of the most, greatest players Manchester United England have ever had. What's that been like for you in terms of from 16 right the way through to today?
I think because I grew with him, it was never like bang, you know, if he's gone from just being a player to this big, you know, superstar. I think we've gone through it together. So obviously it's the attention wasn't there when I first got with him, but then it grew and grew.
Was it
and
when
grew,
that goal where you scored that goal against Arsenal? What was it like?
But that was more Liverpool. So, and obviously Liverpool's a small place. It wasn't. It was more the Euros when we went to the Euros, and then I always remember after the Euros because he broke his foot, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I remember his agent Paul saying, "Right, you might need to take security away with you on holiday after this." So I was thinking, no, surely we don't need security. But we booked to go to New York and then to Barbados. So when we got to New York, because he was on the crutches and that, there was quite a few paps, but not a major. And then we got to Barbados and there was no one thinking, but we had this security man with us. So I was thinking, what are we going to do? So he was our photographer for the holiday. And then because Wayne had broke his foot, and to be honest with you, he doesn't really like water sports and that anyway, there was me and him on rubber things on the back of boats, and Wayne was taking the pictures. And then ever since then, we've never had security. But I would say that was the one tournament where after that it was big. And started.
I thought you were going to say you sent him to another hotel. You were like, no, we're going to have to keep you with us for the whole thing.
He was there with us the whole time, but there was no need for him, but we were just being prepared just in case.
What was that like growing up? You said about the Arsenal goal for Everton. So even before he goes to United, I'm in the city, I'm a bit older than Wayne, but I'm playing for Liverpool, and we're hearing about this Wayne Rooney. And there was still stories, wasn't there, of sort of playing on the street and that, and you know, he's still a young kid. I mean, what was it like even going out? Was it with the Crocky Legion, was it, or where was it?
Stonebridge. No, the Lobster. No, it was, he still came, like he hanged around at the start of the garages where he would kick the ball was at the back of my house. So he'd still go and meet the lads on, because they were all still hanging around on the streets and doing stuff. So he'd still go there after the game and speak to them and stuff. But no, with just being like the local pubs, and his family massive Evertonians, so they'd all go the game, then they'd all go the pub after the game. So we'd then go and meet them there. But it was strange, but I felt like it was more, we knew, you know, everyone in Liverpool anyway, don't you? So it wasn't a massive deal because you're all connected and you all know each other. I would say it was more the England thing that made it bigger for me, and more, you know, everywhere you went, people were recognising him more and there was more attention.
Did you hesitate at the point where, obviously after that Euros, he actually joined United, didn't he, straight after that Euros, didn't he? Was there hesitation? Obviously, you're so passionate about Everton, about Liverpool. Was there a hesitation to move to Manchester, or...?
No, I don't think there was. I think, like, from him, obviously, Everton is his club and he loved it and, you know, it still does. But Man United is a big, massive club, and I think what he said he wanted to do was win, you know, trophies and win things. And I think he had seen players in the past stay with their childhood clubs and then not go on to win anything. And I think, you know, for him, it was hard, but he stood his ground and thought, no, I'm going to go. And that's it. And, you know, I'll take all the crap that comes with it. And he was, you know, there was our house, you know, got spray painted everywhere, and there was, you know, smashed windows in cars and stuff. And it was, I feel we literally took ourselves and moved, because Alex Ferguson said, we want you out of Liverpool. But it was our families that got the backlash then. And that wasn't fair. You know, it was worth it for him, because he's, you know, gone on to win all. He's the lead goal scorer. We had some fantastic times there, and yeah.
What was the first when he scored that hat trick? Was it Fenerbahce?
Yeah,
on his debut.
first game.
What was that like?
It was good. We went, and obviously we hadn't. That was our first game that we went to, and we were sitting. They put us right up in I don't know whether that was where the family sat at the time, but I don't think it was.
It was your accents.
So we were right up in the gods, and yeah, it was. I just thought after that game, I thought you've made the right decision here, and you've come, and you've just proved a point straight away that you know you belong here. Yeah. And yeah, it just went from strength to strength after that.
I mean, I only played for one team, so I never had that. But in terms of you with Wayne, would Wayne ask your opinion on maybe moving to a club, or when he leaves United, he goes back to Everton, doesn't he? And situations like that, do you get involved in conversations like that?
Yeah, obviously, he'll mention it, but at the end of the day, I think it's whatever's best for him, and we'll support him. You know. I think before the Man United, there was a few clubs on to him. I think there was a Spanish club on, and at the time, you know, I was thinking, I don't know whether I could go to. But I said, if that's, you know, well, I'll, you know, support you. And my mum was like, you're not really moving to Spain, are you? But obviously, it was only up the road, so it was good because we still stayed local and it wasn't far. And then, yeah, I was there for years. Going back to Everton, I was a bit unsure about that. I just felt like, if you still, you know, can you still do what them fans wanted you to do back then now?
What was he like? Was he apprehensive, or was he happy?
He just, yeah, he was happy. He always said he wanted to go back there and play there again. And also, we wanted the kids to see him play there.
Okay.
Yeah. And they all support. Like, we've got to mix Everton and Man United. I think the loyalty.
I love what you've just said there, because you didn't say about going back in terms of the fan reaction. You were actually thinking, can he go back and be the player that you were thinking more from a football point of view than maybe something off the pitch. Can he still be the same sort of player? You thinking like that? Yeah,
because them fans had so much faith in him back then, and he was, you know, and they would have loved him to stay and do what he did at Man United. But obviously, you need a team around you and think. But that's what I was thinking. The fans still going to love him, even though they hated him for leaving. They're still going to love him like they did when he was back there. Don't know.
Fans can be fickle.
Yeah, but they would have had the respect for him.
Yeah, they did.
Listen, Everton fans are as passionate as anybody, but they were also stood back and looked at when they saw Wayne doing what he was in at United. There has to be an element. You know what?
Yeah.
It's the right thing.
Fair play.
We boo him when he comes back.
Yeah.
But there'll be respect from him. When he did go back, he got that, and that's what you want.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. You did move obviously to America. Was that a big challenge, that going over there?
Yeah, massive. You know, my youngest was 6 months. The furthest I've moved is to Manchester from Liverpool. So to pick up a family and go 4 kids, and I would have loved to take my mum and dad with me, but I've got 2 brothers who've got kids and they look after them, so I couldn't be selfish. So we agreed to go, and we just looked at it as like an adventure for a few years. Wayne went before us, and then I waited till school finished, and I was planned on going for 2 years, and then come back for my eldest to go to secondary school. And I remember sitting in, Paul came round and said, right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to move here because that's where the training ground is. And I went, no, wait a minute. I said, what's the schools like there? So he was like, no, but the club want you to. I said, no. I said, my first thing is as long as the kids are okay. Then, so we looked, and like the British school was in DC, but where they wanted us to move was like an hour and a half away. So in the end, I had to put my foot down and say, no, we'll move to where the school is, and then he'll have to travel into training, because they're coming back to England, so they need to be on our education system to come back. Yeah. And I'm glad I did in the end, because it was when people were over there who went to American school, it's a whole different way of life, and they wouldn't have fitted in when they come back. But we didn't stay there with, like, obviously I planned 2 years, but it was only a year in the end, which I was glad. And it wasn't the place is fine. And if we would have just went as a couple and not with the kids, I think we would have had a great time. But I'd only got used to it after a year, after finding my feet, and it probably would have been okay that second year. But we came home. But people used to say homesickness, and I used to think, oh, stop exaggerating. There's not, not homesick. And actually I was. I cried. I couldn't look. The kids used to FaceTime my mum and dad, and I couldn't even look at them on the phone. It was like bad. And I used to hear my mum say, where's your mum? And I used to run into the other room. I couldn't do it. But, you know, we tried it, and that was it. But I think, you know, I wouldn't go back until the kids were all older.
We were saying, because, like, obviously as an athlete, like, you do have to have a selfish mindset, but then I always think, what's it like, especially when you've got kids, because you just have to move with whatever they do. I think Victoria Beckham spoke about it with David, and I think sometimes, like, because you're the one going and playing football, you're just like, well, this is what I've got to do. But how many kids did you have when you went to America?
4.
Did you have 4?
Yeah.
Wow. To do that, like, and I know obviously you've got Wayne, but you're practically by yourself,
well,
aren't
that's
you,
the thing,
really?
is, like, they travel together, but they'll stay over, and so it's like days at a time. And I always remember just saying, who have I got here? So what if, like, one of the kids gets sick in the night and needs to go to the hospital, and to have to put them all in the car and take, like, there was things just, like, going through my mind, or what if someone breaks it and I've got no one around me. But then I've always thought of that, you know, when we get foreign people to England, and I've always tried to do whatever I can for them wives, you know, and if they need anything, just, you know, ring me, or I'm not one of them, I don't push to make friends, but I just always say, you know, I'm here if you need to just ring and ask me about schools or different things. So over there, the club helped, but it was just, it was strange just being with no one.
Did you meet Trump with?
Yeah.
Got a picture.
I seen a quote, actually.
Well, yeah. Well, my dad, he went, didn't like where you said that on the comments, because my mum said, he was a dirty bastard.
What did he say? Something
he said,
like...
so when I come in, he said, he said to his son at sea, told you all the soccer players get the good-looking girls. And so then, when I've come out, I told my mum, she was like, oh.
What a thing to say, though.
Well, that was like my first beat, like, hello, nice. And then as soon as that was it, and we didn't spend that much time. It was like a Christmas thing at the White House. But
Just the what?
Not like Christmas dinner, was it?
No, it was like all like the workers and stuff. Like they do like a thing for the family, like a family day. And we went with the 4 kids, but. It was, I was just remembering my kids sitting, I was like, you just sit there, you know, like tables and chairs, so you'd sit there eating chicken nuggets on the floor under the table.
I know why.
I was thinking of you, like, you've got to be on your best behaviour today.
No, it was it was a bit of a strange setup, but it was, you know, it's an experience. But my youngest, obviously, when Trump's been voted back in, they watch news time at school, so he's 6, so he comes home and he says, I told the teacher that I've met Trump. She's told me to send a photo in, so I'm thinking, she doesn't believe it. So I emailed the photo in, and so she's like, oh, we did mention it. I was like, oh, yeah, if he was only a baby at the
She
time.
definitely didn't believe it, definitely.
You mentioned the kids before, and you said the word terrible. When I came round to your house a few months ago, Wazza said you had the boxing ring, and he said, is there being, like, terrible? He just literally puts the gloves on and puts them in the ring and lets them just fight it out. Is that true?
No, they do go in there, and so that's a bit exaggerated. They do go in there, and especially like when my nephews come round, it's mayhem. But they go on. My dad used to do boxing; he was boxing trainer and that. So as soon as he comes, like, take us on the pads, and they go in, and they do use it, and they do like fight, and but no, it's not. He doesn't say go in there and fight each other. Well, not when I'm around anyway.
That's what I was going to say.
What's it like actually having just a house full of boys?
Madness, like it's just mayhem all the time. Even like this morning, we have to have a rota who sits in the front going to school, and even though we've got a rota, there's murder every morning. Like this morning, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like none of you are sitting in the front, you are all in the back now. But what they do is they just torment each other. It's like a domino effect. So the eldest does it to the next one, the other one does it, and then it's just. It's a lively house, but it's funny thing is everyone loves coming to ours because it's just like entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just but I like it. I grew up with two brothers, and I was I'm used to being around boys, so I quite like the boys. Yeah. And then like Wayne would have liked a girl. And then when I think now, I think, would I have clashed with a girl? I know what I was like with my mum growing up, so I think hormones and that. I think,
yeah.
Whereas the boys just get on with it. Like, they do something and the
girls are more emotional, I think, aren't they? Definitely.
And two of them are at United, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
And doing well.
Yeah, obviously Kai's at that age now where he's more determined and he knows what he wants, and Clay's 11, he's still having fun with it, and like last night I took him to the cliff and you can just see he absolutely loves it. He loves being like just around the team and that, and it's quite nice because I love the way they have, different group of mates to what they have in school. And then and what I like about the academy is it's just a mixed group of kids. So you've got, your kids from council estates, you've got your kids from, other areas, and they're all just coming together, and just, I love it. And then I've got my youngest, he goes in at Everton. He's only under seven.
support Everton?
Loves, he's obsessed with Everton. So when he was at Liverpool, and it used to make them sing, when they used to end the session, they used to make them sing a song, and they all have to get hold onto each other, and it's like, we
what song was
Liverpool or something.
You never walk alone.
No, you never walk alone. It's like a chant, like, we love Liverpool, and you used to see him just standing there, just like not singing on purpose. And then Everton asked him to go in, and he just, he's obsessed with it.
Who do the kids support? Because obviously, I know your family at Liverpool, aren't they? Your dad's big Liverpool, and your brother's obviously Wayne's Everton originally. Then he plays for Man United. Is there any split in there? They've
all got a soft spot for Everton, but they like Man United as well. There's no Liverpool fans in there. No. My dad tried. The littlest one, he did like go towards Liverpool for a bit, and my dad used to say he used to play for Liverpool. So a couple of Christmases ago, he said that he was at the academy, but a couple of Christmases ago, so he would have only been, 4 or something, and he was like, I want a Liverpool kit, and Wayne's like, you're not getting a Liverpool kit. So I said, well, he's asked Santa, he's put it on his list, he's asked Santa for one. So I said, who do you want on the back of your Liverpool kit? And he put Tony, my granddad. And he thought, so I got him a kit with Tony number 7 on the back. Wayne was fuming. My dad was buzzing. So if I've still got it, but he doesn't support Liverpool anymore. So when he was at Liverpool, he got, them big like match attack card things. So for Christmas he asked for them. So he asked for the Everton one because he was playing for Liverpool. I got him a Liverpool one as well. So when he opened it, he was like, I didn't ask for Liverpool, I don't want a Liverpool one. He went upstairs, got a marker and wrote sold on it and said, granddad, you can have
He's going to be a manager. That's the thing, he's like sold.
The academy system, is it cutthroat when you get a bit older? Is it still brutal, obviously, lads that get released, and that sort of feeling of nervousness that, one of your boys might get released from a club? I'm not one of them parents. I just think what will be, and if he doesn't stay there, he can go on to do something else. But I put into my lads that you've still got to do something as a backup. You can't just
think you're going to be a footballer because it's a tiny, tiny percentage. And I seen it with Wayne, you know, when he had all friends and they literally didn't get the contract to go on, and then they all had to go and do like apprentices and stuff because they never got another job. And I think if they've got something to give education-wise, I tell them, like Kai, he's quite intelligent and he's really good at Spanish. And so I said, well, if you go on to do your Spanish, you could go and work in football and you could take you to Spain and do, you know, it's quite exciting. But he's determined, they all say they want to be footballers. But at the academy, it's brutal. And there's kids that just put the all into it and think that they're going to, you know, go on to be, and it's not possible for everyone. And you can see the parents have got every belief and put their all into it. And it's, when they get released, it's sad. But a lot of them do go on. And, you know, United are great at finding them other clubs to go to. And so you do, and you see them around again when you play the other clubs. And it's like Kai, they're playing tonight, and one of the mums who used to be there messaged me and they said, oh, we'll see you tonight at the game. And so it is, but I think you've got to prepare your kids for it. I think it's important that you tell them all along that, you know, there's a chance that and it's not the end of the world. You know, there's other things apart from that. But Kai now, at the end of this year, he'll get told whether he's getting a scholarship for the next 2 years.
Yeah, how old's Kai now?
He's 15.
15, yeah. It is brutal, though.
It's a big moment now, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
The amount of kids that go through. I remember at City, there was just kids after kids after kids coming through the door, and everyone thinks their kid's going to be the next one. So I think it is so good that support, if it doesn't happen for them, is so important. So important.
And they're under extra pressures, you know what I mean? You can't ignore that.
Yeah.
The name that comes with it.
Yeah,
little change.
That does happen a lot. And a few years ago, I remember Kai took a penalty. We were at St. George's Park for a tournament, and it went to penalties. And Kai stepped up for this penalty, and he just skied it, like, didn't do it like he usually does. And it's like, so afterwards I was like, oh, what? Like, how can you take your penalty like that? He said, I was just fuming. The goalie, he was like, your dad's shit, your dad's this, your dad's that. And he said, and I just got dead angry. And it doesn't happen to him very often, but that time it did. And you can see it, like, in some games where, you know, they give them a little, pinch or something, and they say something. But he just laughs. He's quite good like that. He's quite strong-minded that he just laughs it off.
Yeah.
Just change direction. Wayne sleeps with the hairdryer on.
Yeah.
Are you? I take it you're listening to the hairdryer.
No, so it's a fan when I'm in the bedroom. But
fan?
if it's a fan, yeah. But if
blowing,
I'm not, yeah. Not see people in the bed.
I thought he's not going to go there. But he did.
But when I'm not there, or if I get up, I hear him go and get the hairdryer. If he's still in bed, he goes and gets the hairdryer.
That's really,
Yeah.
really...
Does the fan not keep you away?
As he told you, it's gone on fire before.
It caught
Yeah, I
that,
think he did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
He's
So
in America.
he will go. He won't turn it off before he feels, I'm going to sleep now, I'll turn it off. He keeps the fan on. Wow. That's dangerous.
The hairdryer, yeah, it's on cool, but this one time he said that he was cold and left it on hot. And the boomerang.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I can't believe, like, that noise would just do
It's
my
the
head
heat
in.
as well, if he's got it on the heat.
I know.
It's hot. Crazy.
He burnt his toe.
What was it?
When he asked you to get married, he asked you in a petrol station.
Yeah.
Is that right?
We were going, we were only 17, and we were going to for a Chinese. You ever remember that Chinese up the Lancs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were going there, and I think we were like, I don't know whether we were arguing or something on the way, and I was like, I'm not going, I don't want to go Chinese. So we stopped at the petrol station. He went in, come out and went, I was going to ask you when we was in the Chinese. And now when I think, I'm glad he never asked me in that Chinese. But yeah, we went back to my mum's and had corned beef hash for tea. And,
Did he plan to ask?
He planned to go. Yeah, I knew it was quite, like, he's not very good at keeping secrets. I knew it was going to happen.
And you're going to find an out
I didn't think it was then.
What was the one where, did one of his mates not ask you how to spell
Oh yeah,
was
it's
it 2 L's
cousin.
or-
Yeah. So we went to we were going to 18th. It was one of our friends was turning 18. He was a bit older than us, and that day I got a phone call, and it was his cousin. He said, do you spell your name with 1 L or 2 L's? I was like, 1 L, why? He went, I'm just in the town with our Wayne. He's getting a tattoo. I was thinking, oh, whatever. I went to, there was a party, in the Sylvestrian that night. Yeah. So walks in, and here he is with his top up like that, going round every table in the thing. And I said, I feel ashamed. He has got it. He has got it. And I said, what, like? He was like, no, it's fine. We'll be together forever.
That's nice.
You tell him to spell it with 2 L's.
That's what you should have done. I can't believe you missed that
It's actually 3 L's.
So you got 1 L, 2 L's.
He's got the one on his back with then on it as well, and that always makes me laugh, that one.
No, that's
What's that one again?
So basically, him and his mate, when they were younger, like 16 or something, they used to have this, OK then. So his mate got
get
OK.
a drink, and
his
he
mate,
used to go, okay then, like with the drink.
and his mate's got OK on his back, and Wayne's got then.
Oh, my God.
It's the greatest tattoo
You
of all
need
time.
Right then. Right then.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. People from Liverpool, they're unbelievably spirited. Wayne played his career like that, and obviously, I watched the programme at home. I put it on one night. I was actually in Bolton with my eldest daughter and Emma, and we put it on, and we literally watched it inside like an hour and a half. We were absolutely gripped the whole way through it. That must have been one of the toughest times of your life to go through that, and the actual. You talk about resilience that obviously, sports people, but what you had going through that sort of trial must have been absolutely terrifying for you.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was the lowest I would ever say I've ever been in life. I think because I had no control over it. And that was hard because obviously I knew what I was saying was right. But the fact that someone else has taken you to court and you've got to then prove and say, no, this is what it is. It was tough, and I just couldn't, it was long. It was a long period of time, and I couldn't get away from it. Every day I'd wake up and think, right, Coleen, just get on with your day-to-day. Just don't go there, don't think about it. And it just kept creeping back in all the time, and I just felt like I was just not myself and not present, and I was snappy. And I'd go every Friday, the lawyers ring me because the other team try and ruin your weekend, or they ring your last point on a Friday, and he'll say, right, this is what's going on, and right, try and have a nice weekend. And I'm thinking, you're just right, I'm not going to have a nice weekend now. And I'd go away and then start overthinking things and start looking for things that he's asked me for. And by the time I knew, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and Wayne's been waiting for me to watch something on the couch, and he's like, right, I'm going to bed now. And I put a strain on family life, on just, friends. I just wasn't sociable. It stripped me.
Was there times, Coleen, because I watched it as well, where I was watching, I was thinking, surely this is it. She's gonna stop now. She can't carry on. I'm done. Did you get them moments? I'm done. This is just ridiculous, because you kept going.
Yeah, I couldn't though, because she was suing me. So I couldn't draw the line. I tried so hard to try and say, can we just settle this and work it out before it got to court. That was the one thing I was dreading, was going to court, because I felt like we're going to argue in front of the whole world, and I don't want that. I'd rather try and just do it on our own, and not let everyone. It's just, I think going to court, if you don't need to, it's just to put on a show for everyone else. Yeah. And that's what I kept thinking, I don't want to go to court, But the thing is it was the fact that I had to say that I was wrong, and I couldn't live with myself. Just to get it away, I could have said, I was wrong, and thinking,
guilty, basically.
And then when I thought about it, I would have had to live with that for my whole life, knowing that I wasn't wrong.
But you would never have said that, would you?
No, I wouldn't, but I could imagine some people would, with the fear and the stress and the thinking of going through with it. And obviously, to me, financially, I was okay, but other people going to court, I feel for it's so expensive, and if that other person's just going and going and going, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What was it in the court? You talk about, you're up till 2 in the morning thinking of things of a week, but when you're actually in court, do you know what's going well at the start? Or are you going to bed thinking, oh, how's that day gone? Is it looking good for us?
Yeah, you can sense, obviously, she was on the stand first, so she was getting cross-examined and I sat and watched all that. And in a way, I'm glad she did go first because it gave me a sense of what, I've never been in a courtroom before. It gave me, a sense of what goes on and what I'd, be doing when I went up there. And yeah, it was, it gave me some reassurance seeing her on the stand because there were certain things she couldn't answer.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, if you can't answer that, why have you brought me here? And then I was on the stand on the Friday. So I went over the weekend. I was under oath over the weekend, but we decided to go and watch our play football in Berlin for the academy. I had a tournament there. So I was like, should I, shouldn't I? So my mum was like, listen, you're only going to come home to then go back to London with the other kids. So why don't you just go there, take your mind off it, go and watch him, and he'd love to see you there. So me and Wayne finished court on the Friday, went straight to the airport, was in Berlin till the Sunday night, got on the plane, was an hour delayed or something, but seatbelt on, lights out, ready to take off. Next minute, the lights come on. Flight's been cancelled. Wow. Airspace in Berlin is closed for the night. I just burst out crying and I looked at the air hostess. I was like, I'm in court in the morning. I'm on the stand. What I'm going, Wayne, to go, I told you should have left early. And I was like, but what if they would have won? I would have been gutted because he was like, leave the last 2 games, we'll go before that. And I was like, no, because I want to stay to the end. There's no point in going all the way to Berlin. And if they win, not seeing the final. So he thinks, and we got off the plane, I phoned Paul, who was in the hotel, waiting for us in London. So then I said, so he's trying to get flights, I'm trying to get flights. So I said, let's just walk over to the hotel. We got a room. And but before that, we're waiting for our luggage to come off the thing. And my mum was 60 when we were getting home after London. Yeah. So I bought like this bottle of liqueur in the thing. Next minute, the bag goes. Wayne's holding this thing, it smashes all over the place. He throws it on the thing. He bags the suitcases on.
He's like, my head, yeah.
He was fuming, and I was just like devastated. So in the end, we ended up getting a hotel for a few hours. We got a flight into Stansted that got us in at 7:20. Paul was in the hotel. I was telling them what clothes to get out of the wardrobe for me. Sent it in the car, got changed in the car. I went to court and got on the stand for 9:30 that morning.
Wow.
And I was relieved and I was dreading the whole thing, but I was just thinking, thank goodness I'm here. And that was probably my best day. I think it just must have took my mind off it before. Yeah,
that's what it was. You know what I loved about the whole is the way you whittled it down to find out the person. That was really
that was clever. It was
clever. And then there's things happen and you think, it can't be then. I've got to go again. It was just
But you know what? There's been things for our whole life where people have done stories and stuff, but it comes and goes, and you can go into overdrive thinking, who's that, and you learn to just say, do you know what, get on with it. But it was the fact that was on a platform where you could narrow it down.
Still took some
that
time.
was what people were saying. Oh, there's been loads of stuff in the papers in the past, but it was the fact that it was someone on there that was doing it. So yeah, it was tough, but at the end, I was, happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest tweets of all time, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, I think so, Carl.
You've got to this point in your life now where there can be nothing really that you feel could impact you after you've been through, obviously, even the scrutiny from being sort of a young 16, 17-year-old and obviously being with probably the most famous football player in the country and now being through that. Do you feel like completely and utterly experienced and resilient now to the point whereby nothing can touch you? Do you feel that strength?
Life throws different things. You have different things, like experience affects you in different ways, don't they? So, obviously, I'd gone through, my marriage has been a massive thing in the press, and I'd got through that, and people are so opinionated, but I've always held the thing is it's my life, so let me get on with it, and it's got nothing to do with anyone else, as long as we're happy and people around us, you know, and then obviously the whole core thing, everyone has but it was a different opinion then, and then obviously I've just done the jungle, which that was tough, that was a different challenge for me in life, but coming out, I've had so many people come up to me and say, we totally understand, like, your life in a way now, you know, because obviously that's all been little stepping stones. And you know, they said, oh, you're just normal. And I'm thinking, well, what isn't normal? But there is people that, you know, mustn't be and put on an act and, you know, do stuff. But no, I know I've always been a tough person. And I think, you know, from a kid, I've always, you know, I'm not a princess or I've always just tackled things and get on with it, and you know, if you get the right outcome, positive, if you don't, learn by it and, you know, move on to the next thing. But no, I wouldn't say I can like tackle the world now, but
when you consider like Wayne at 16 being able to deal with the level of what he had to deal with, the scrutiny, and to find a girlfriend that can deal with it as well, for you to, from 60, and then you're still together, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we've helped each other. That's the thing as well. We've gone through it together, and we've helped each other. He's probably struggled with it more than me, but he's had, you know, people have hated on him, like, and you know, it's tough because he's out there every week, you know, doing stuff. And that was the other thing he said when he come back out the jungle. He's like, I was getting chants at me all the time while you were in there. I was like, what were they saying? Some of them? And he was saying, she's getting in the jungle.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, oh, that's an old one now, isn't it?
That's an old one.
But he said, he was laughing. He said, obviously, it's not one of the worst ones he's had.
What's next for you? I did read, I must say, actually, when you were in the jungle, I was like, are people allowed to wear makeup? Your skin looked amazing, and you don't get anything, do you? Like, absolutely nothing.
I think, do you know what? I'm not, like, I don't wear makeup all the time, and, you know, I get papped constantly and go in the gym and stuff. So what you see there is what you're seeing in the jungle, where I think there's a lot of people that you see on telly or on, where they constantly got a face full of makeup or fake tan or, and getting stripped of that, people are like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't realise that's what you...
They look so
there's been no big contrast with me from going from one extreme to the other, so I felt like people just seeing what they usually see in there. But no, my skin, I do like try and look after myself, and I've recently started working with a company, Applied Nutrition, you know, Applied Nutrition. So, yeah.
Got them in, didn't you?
Yeah.
There's got to be a skincare deal or something.
I've taken the collagen and things, so I have been to, and I have seen a massive change in that.
Can you send me some?
Yeah, send you some.
And Roy, actually, just around his eyes.
Are you invested in that, or are you like an ambassador for them?
So ambassador, I've got a range coming out, which will be my range, and invested in it as well. Yeah.
Can you send us some, please?
Yeah,
Why do you always want
I've got some in the house.
Buy some. Why don't you buy it?
Oh, I will.
Are you invested in that?
Do you want some fuel?
No, so it's not. It's you take it. It's a supplement. So it's just a powder.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
You can put it in your heel.
So you can have it. Do you know what I've been doing it with hot water? I've been having a mug, you know, like a hot Ribena.
Yeah.
You do like raspberry and.
And what's it for, Coleen? Just for the
collagen. So as you get older, you lose your collagen in your skin. So you know, like it plumps you.
Right.
So obviously I'm doing mine now to prevent, you know, mine hasn't started going yet. And then, but yeah, no, it's good. And then you do like magnesium and hydration and stuff. And
There's only me and you haven't got a brand here.
Not yet, Jen.
Not yet.
you have to get a phone brand.
yeah, get a phone brand, yeah.
You must have a brand you work with.
No, not like a sponsorship thing. No, I'm open.
I'm open. Just down camera 4.
Just show me the money.
Coleen, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming on. Thank you, amazing.
Is
Thank you
anyone
so
taking
much.
that
Thank
through?
you. Yes. You taking it off me?
Yeah, I want it.
Nice one, Colleen.
How'd you get on the front of Vogue?
You've got to look like that. That's how you get on the front of
So
Vogue.
good.